Yeah. So, Chrissy, thank you for being here on time.
I know.
I don't
Thank you for
know.
having us. But this is the story of our life because Nicole's always late.
Where's Nicole Gallo? I don't know. She's downloading Chrome. But we're gonna start because I wanted to go over your history and background, where you started, and then how your past year has been. So I'm looking. I can see in the studio if Nicole pops up. So when
Okay.
Nicole pops up, we're going to grab her. So I
So
want
you
to
want
talk
my
about
past? You want my past before real estate or just with real estate?
just your background. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I've been in the restaurant industry for 28 years. We own the Classic Diner in Malvern. We have a catering company. And back in 2007, I went on to QVC to sell the product bacon from the restaurant, and I got involved with QVC.
I did
And
not know that.
I started vendor repping and bringing product in a lot in the food department, beauty, and then I started working with some infomercial companies, beauty manufacturers. I at one point had like, oh, there she is. I said,
Cole!
hey,
Hey, mama.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you.
Oh, all right. I couldn't hear you for a minute. It made me do an update. Sorry, guys.
No worries. So Nicole was giving us her background, and then I want to shoot to you. So QVC, I didn't even know about.
Yeah, so I was doing business with QVC for probably about 10 years, bringing products on, bringing guests on, and then I started working with some infomercial companies and Bed Bath & Beyond. And actually, at one point, I probably had like 10 different SKUs in Bed Bath & Beyond. But I guess right before COVID, I sort of just got fed up with the whole thing. And I was like, I just need to do something where I can rely on myself. And that's when I decided to get my real estate license. And I didn't really do anything with it at the beginning because it was during COVID. I was in the middle of like just saving my business. And then I got that in 2021, I got my PA license. And ever since then, I was with the Keller Williams, which was a great experience, awesome people. Yes. And Nicole and I didn't realize that we both were doing this, and we went to high school together, grade school together. And so we connected and decided, like we're doing one-offs. So like, you want to work the open house with me. And then it just sort of catapulted into, now we're partners and we're, with EXP and we're rocking it.
I love that. And I thanks for the QVC, that piece I did not know.
Yeah.
But how long have you both been licensed? Because this is pretty remarkable.
I got my New Jersey license in 2020. And then I got my PA license in 2021. So that's really when I started doing my business.
I think the same for 2020, maybe.
And
no, 2021, I guess.
Yeah. And you're both licensed in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware.
I'm licensed in
Delaware, PA, and she's Jersey.
Yeah.
But together, the state area. So Nicole, let's hear about your background. You look amazing, mama.
Thanks.
By the way.
But thank you. I worked at Michael Christopher and Curry for like 15 years at Curry. And then I left there, started a wedding business, and then started freelancing for a company that was owned by NBC. So I started doing like celebrity hair and makeup and events for NBC. I actually did QVC events like the Beauty Bash, stuff like that. I don't know how to get this sent. There we go. And that's pretty much like all I did. I had my wedding business for years. I had a bunch of girls working for me doing that. And I loved it. And then COVID hit. And then I kind of, same as Chrissy, like I was kind of like over it. I was done. I wanted something new. My dad does commercial real estate. So I saw what he was doing and making, and I just wanted to jump in. I started watching that Selling Sunset.
I refuse to watch that crap.
I watched it. I watched like all these real estate, like the bougie real estate shows, which is right up my alley. And then I was like, I could do that. So that's what happened.
At a time where most people, I know agents from being in the business for a while, once COVID hit, their business collapsed, and you two jumped into it, which I would say was the best time to jump in. Sink or swim.
It's not a hard business to start. I know a lot of people think, like Chrissy and I get calls every day because we talk about it. and everyone's like, oh, that looks so fun. You know, like they think it looks so fun and easy. And then when you're doing it, it's not what you think. I mean,
No.
it's fun. It is fun.
It's fun. I love it. I'm
It's a
very
lot of fun. We love it. But I wouldn't call it like easy. You know what I mean?
It's not easy. And when people say, I like people or I like to look at houses, that is not why you get your license.
No,
People.
not at all.
That is also not all you do.
I love houses. I get that a lot. I love to look at houses. Do you? Cool. That doesn't mean that you should get your license. So you are relatively new. I mean, 2021, it's now 2024. It's month 2. Let's talk about you choosing EXP. What's happened for you? And congrats on your icon status for both of you individually. You may work as a team, but the number of transactions you both qualified for icon.
That was just like, that was one of the main reasons why we switched over, you know, running the numbers. We're both business people, both business owners. And once we really knew what we were doing, we're like, you know what, this business model and this stock, this publicly traded stock, and Nicole's dad was a stockbroker. So he looked into it for us to make sure it was legit.
Good.
What I loved about it the most is now we had a goal. We had a goal that we set for 2023 into 2024, and we had a year to do it. And we did.
And you did it in like 9 or 10 months though.
Yeah.
And it's your 2nd or 3rd year in real estate.
Yes.
Think about that, folks. And we're going to go over what does an icon agent mean? It means that you solve a lot of people's problems in a timely and efficient manner, and you give elite service, really. Nicole, what would you say? Like you two, I had a conversation. So it started with Courtney Carosa, and she had said, I had this deal with this cool chick. She asked me about EXP. Can you jump on a call? And the 3 of us talked for an hour and a half straight. I remember I was in Cape May on my deck.
Yeah, it was Christmas break.
I was so sure after that phone call, like I was already mentally, I was done. I was coming over already. I was almost borderline threatening Chrissy. At that point, I was like, if you don't leave, I'm leaving without you. What?
Your recruiting strategy is unlike anything that I've ever seen.
Probably not.
More like pressure. And it's like, if you don't do that, this is a no-brainer. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
There's nothing to sell. I just told someone the other day, do the math yourself.
Right.
And I was emotional. I was emotional about it because I really liked the people that we worked with.
That was the hard part. That was the only hard part.
Yes. But then once I sat down with Tom and at home and then went over it again with Nicole, I'm like, we have to go.
Well, because we were saying we can still have our friends.
Right.
From other brokers. We can still work with them.
Right.
This is not about friendship. It's about, it's our job.
It's a business decision. And when you look at it like that, like I was at Berkshire for over 18 years and I loved it. And I'm still good friends with my former manager, Annette. It is a business decision and it might not work for some people. It works for me. I know it works for you too.
Yeah. It was probably the best decision we made because jumping into it, coming over, meeting, Courtney, I mean, I didn't know you before then. And
same.
The group of people, there's just like the dynamic of our
whole vibe even.
Yeah.
Like it's totally different.
It's not like I like that we have our own texting thread. We have a WhatsApp. We have our own Facebook page, True Freedom. Someone throws out there like, hey, I have an open house. Can someone help me out? Which Karen Doherty needs help. So if you're watching this, reach out to Karen Doherty or a coming soon listing, or I need a painter. I need a contractor. People respond in seconds. And we have people like Avenue to Close and Eric Petransky goes, I've never seen anyone do this. I love this.
Everybody's friends. Even yesterday, we called Joe Anthony just because he does a lot of business in certain areas and we just wanted to throw something. You can call anybody in the group and everybody's friendly. Nobody's looking at it like
competition.
It's not like that. So
Joe's awesome. And I do like that we can reach out and say, hey, do you have anybody or can you help me? Yeah. And we get responses in seconds. That's an intangible that it doesn't matter what brokerage you're in, although we are all biased, but like that's an intangible that you can't get everywhere. Yeah. And that's what I do love about our group.
And the fact that we have clients that we're like really trying to find houses for. And there's people on our team that like, you know what, they had something that wasn't coming soon yet, that they're like, you know, we want to give you the opportunity. And that doesn't always happen. You know, everybody just wants to get it to market,
Right.
Like they were actually thinking about Nicole and I and our clients.
Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome. So what was your I joined 5.5 years ago. You just joined in a year. What has your experience been? And you hit the icon status. You can share with everybody what that means.
You want to go first, Nicole? Go ahead.
Sure. So you just want to know what the year was like? Is that what your question
Yeah,
was?
I want to know your experience, like your transition, because I talked to agents all
That
the
was
time, they're like,
scary.
what does that look like?
Yeah.
Are
I'm
you
not
going to
gonna
leave
lie.
me behind?
Yeah, we were very scared. We had so the number one thing that you hear from agents when they are going to transfer is, I have all these pending transactions, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're a good agent, you're always going to have something pending, right?
Good
You're
point.
never going to, it's going to be impossible almost to come over with a clean slate. So for us, we had like, how many did we have, Chris?
11.
There's like 11, right?
Oh, really?
I thought there was more, but there was 11. So
That's a lot.
we had a lot pending, and that was scary. We didn't know how that was going to pan out, but it was really easy and seamless. Honestly,
Well, I guess everybody has an individually read your contract before you do
yes,
it, right?
yes.
But for
But
us,
also,
it worked out.
we had a listing coming in. Do you remember? And we kept trying to push it off. We were like, just wait. We're switching brokerages, and we didn't know how to use the sky slope. We didn't know how to use anything, and it was really easy. I mean, we didn't even have training, and we were plugging a listing in. So I thought it was really easy. We had so much help that's what made it easy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And the fact that we made a personal decision to hire a transaction coordinator
Yes.
this year has really been able to let us focus on our clients and keep us organized, because that was a struggle. You know, I mean, the busier you get, you can't let things slip. So we did do that. We made a commitment to do that. And I think that has really helped us.
Yeah.
People will ask about conveyancers. Do you have conveyancers? The answer is yes. We have avenue to close. Do you have a transaction coordinator? The answer is yes. Like, everybody uses who you want. Jesse's awesome because she's licensed.
Yeah.
And you could literally text her and be like, hey, write up the listing agreement for this address, blah, blah, blah. And it's done.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
she doesn't forget. Like, I'm like, oh my God, what's up with this? She's like, I'm already on it.
We forget. I don't know how we survived without coordinators, but we did. So,
but it's been a really great year. Like, we've been selling all over the place, up from the Poconos and now into Delaware, Maryland, all over PA, Philly, you know, the main line. Of course, we're, you know, here in Westchester and Garnet Valley area. And we've made so many new friends this year, and we are hitting goals like left and right. And it's not for anything but us really hustling every single day.
You bring up an awesome point, and I want to let everybody out there know, even on the replay, whatever, that in this market, it is the hustle, it's the grit, it's doing things that nobody wants to do on a consistent basis. And you two have done that. And not only in our area, but the one time I called you, you were both in a car headed to the Poconos, which is 2 hours away. And you're like, we're listing this house. We're going to get it on the market. We're driving up. You were on the turnpike. And I was laughing because I've been to the Poconos maybe once in my life. You go to New Jersey, you do Delaware, and one of your teammates is licensed in Maryland. So
Nicole,
I'm licensed in Maryland.
What?
I'm licensed in Maryland.
Oh, shoot. So
my son bought his first house is in Maryland. So that's how that started.
So now you're in 4 states. But my point is, almost like our company, you can go anywhere, which is incredible.
Which is another reason why we switched, because the cap, the $16,000 cap, which is lower than I've seen anywhere else.
Yes.
It's for any state that you're licensed in. So Nicole's licensed in 3 states and she's only paying 1 fee.
That's a good point. Yeah. And where you were, there were different splits. So it's like, oh, you're in New Jersey. Cool. We're going to take a little bit more of your money. This is why I love having these conversations, because I pick up on stuff that I take for granted. 1 cap. What's a cap? It means EXP gets paid $16,000. Then you, the agent, go to 100%.
Exactly.
And what else? So we have no transaction fees as you're getting
fees. That was big.
And you know, it's really great for people, for agents that may only sell a few houses a year. So most brokerages make you pay your insurance, your E&O
Yes.
up front for the year. Ours is $40 a transaction. And if you're not selling, you're not paying for it.
It
Right.
did get bumped up a little bit, but you're right. And where I was paying $650 in January on my credit card or my first sale. And now I guess I don't have to worry about that, but it matters. Like every dollar matters. When you're getting a support fee of $125 a month for no support and it's just a fee, that's ridiculous. And it's not, in my mind, it's not acceptable. As is transaction fee, as you're capping, there's a fee that some companies are charging $395 on the buy side, $395 on the sell side, when a seller's already paying for a commission. Like, so some of these fees that we don't charge, like I appreciate, and it's our call as the agent. It's not just like, oh, here you go, thank you. Here's the support fee for 125. Here's this, here's that. You look at your paycheck and you're like, oh my gosh, it's not even close to what I thought I was getting paid.
Right. That broker fee also at the old brokerage, we never saw that. The broker fee went towards, what did it go towards, Chris? I don't remember. It went towards something. But it wasn't us, I can tell you that. But here, it does go towards your stuff. So like it pays for your transaction coordinator. It pays for all the things that you do. You know what I mean? So it is.
Well, we were paying a 6% transaction fee. Now with EXP, you have the option, which if you looked at our stock account in 1 year, how much it's grown, you have the option at a discounted rate to buy into EXP's publicly traded stock. And it's basically a savings account for my family, for your family. And it's great.
My biggest thing for me.
It's a nice perk, and the stock market is volatile right now. Yes, it will go up. Yes, it will go down.
Yeah.
Such as the history of the stock market. But it is something nice. It's a great perk that we can put off to the side. Chrissy, you touched on this franchise fee. The 6% is a franchise fee. EXP is not a franchise. Therefore, there is no percentage that the company takes from you because it's agent owned. And that's what I liked about it when I joined, was the fact that I am a true owner. This is not a market center. This is not a franchise. We can expand anywhere across the country with any agents that we want to collaborate with. Let's talk about Icon. So you capped at 100%. Then what happened? You had to do a certain amount of volume.
Yes. And I really dug into this because it was, at first I was a little confused. I'm not going to lie, but it's once you cap, there is a cap fee per transaction. And once you hit $5,000, then you hit Icon. It's normally around, if you're not splitting with another agent or giving referrals, it's normally 20 transactions.
Yes.
Which is a huge deal. I mean, after capping and doing that many transactions in a year, and so now we took us a little longer because it's two of us.
Right.
But we did.
It was 40, but those transactions can be leases. They can be referrals from out of state or in state. So it's not just sales. And that's what I liked about it. And there is a fee to pay. So it's $250 because EXP needs to process that. They need eyes on your transaction to make sure that you're compliant. So,
which by the way, their compliance department is unreal.
It is.
They're so on top of things, and they're like so helpful if you like forget to put something in.
Oh, they remember everything. They'll be like, line 17, you didn't initial. I'm like, come on. And I mean in seconds. And then
helpful though, because
it is helpful.
It's easy to forget stuff on there.
I know. I just laugh because they're in the best way possible, over the top, over communicative. When you sell a home, you get paid in 24 hours. You get a hold of your commission statement ahead of time. You confirm it so you know exactly what's going on. You can take a look into your account and see how close you are to capping. So I'm at 77%. My next sale, I know I'm going to cap to 100%. All right, we're talking dollars. Yes, you're going to make more money, but that's not why you should join. Also, the support that you receive in the technology, let's go over that.
But let me back up. So I think people don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't think they understand even what Icon is, because so what happens,
Okay, you hit 100%. You get 100% commission. Yay!
Okay. And
then you do 20 more transactions.
Right.
And then what happens?
They give you the stock that's $16,000 that
Yes.
you paid
Money. Give you money.
Yes.
back in stock. 16,000.
Not an award that just sits on your shelf.
Right.
Is great. That's wonderful. But when you're making a lot of money for a brokerage, that's kind of like, hey, thanks. Here's your award. Like, okay, what do I do with it? But here's 16 grand in stocks that's going to keep generating more money. That's makes me want to icon.
It's a game changer, and nobody does that. So the 16,000 in stock, and people will say you have to wait years and years. 8 of it you get in your account within 30 days.
Yes.
And that sits for 2 years. Then the remaining 8,000, you're incentivized to train other EXP agents. And that part is fun. You go into the world, you talk with other Icon agents. That's how I figured out, like, hey, we could have an event of Pottery Barn for our friends and family and past clients. I got that from another Icon agent. So we're constantly sharing ideas with each other across the country and now across the world. And when you do that, you get 4,000, and that is available in 1 year. And then the other 4, if you go to a regional rally, which we're going to go to in April, it's in King of Prussia, you get points. And then the other one is in Miami, where we're going in October, and that's going to be epic. And yes, we are getting an Airbnb. Okay. It's going to be like the MTV's The Real World. I can already see it.
I just can't wait because I won't be pregnant finally.
You'll have your baby girl, and then we will get a house on the beach in Miami or offshore.
So ask us your question you were asking us. I wanted people to understand exactly what this icon is and not just, oh, sorry. Ooh.
So that was one of your goals, one of many goals that you achieved. Mm-hmm. The icon means that you cap to 100%, so 16,000, yes. Then you have 20 more transactions within those 12 months, which we know a lot of people that would benefit from, whether you iconed or not, but let's stay back to the icon. Then 8,000 hits in your stock account immediately, and then the other 8 you earned through helping others, from coming from a place of service. That's the icon.
So you were also asking us about technology and the support.
Technology and the support. Let's review that, because people think that we're in the cloud, so hard to get a hold of someone. Yeah. What has your experience been?
It's so opposite that.
Completely.
They also think we have no office. We have like a million offices. We can stop off anywhere at an EXP office when you're with EXP. So that's like also another false thing, is the office. And then the cloud thing, I haven't logged in to
the new world
like since I started. I did it like one time.
Me neither.
You don't have to.
What I think is super helpful, there is this, what we have is called Workplace.
I love Workplace.
I know. Yeah. And it's an app. You can get referrals through there. You can ask questions. But our brokers are absolutely so helpful. Like we've had some things happen over the year where we're like, oh my God, we need to talk to somebody right now.
More than one broker, which is helpful.
4. We have 4.
You have 4. So you're getting like 4 different brokers' opinions, which is very helpful, because sometimes things are not so black and white, which Christy and I have learned. So there's a lot of times where there's a gray area and there's different views, and we've had to talk to a couple different brokers to get both of, like multiple perspectives, and it's helpful, because a lot of brokerages, you have one broker and you only have one person's opinion.
And if they're not in the office or they're not returning your phone call, you can't get a hold of them. When I went to leave, I had to wait a day or two so that I could talk to my manager face to face. With EXP, you go into Workplace, they get notified immediately. And with our Pennsylvania state, I get responses in seconds. It's actually another way to get a hold of our brokers easier, more easily.
So another really helpful, and one of the reasons why we love this company so much and love working with our partners, such as Avenue to Close, our title company, is that when we have a closing, Avenue to Close emails, we call it the magic money, emails Jesse, our transaction coordinator, a copy of our commission check and our Alta. She uploads it. We literally get paid the next day.
We just get paid. I mean, there's no more, like, we don't go to the office to pick up the check, to bring it. There's none of that. We don't even do that anymore.
Right.
Which is also time saving, because that was annoying. That was one of the most annoying things that we would have to do, because that's a very easy thing to slip your mind when you have a lot on your mind. So,
and then office meetings, I'll have them once in a while for our group just so that everybody's compliant. But our EXP office meetings are in the world. You don't get in your car, drive to the office, sit with 80, 90 other people. We jump in the world.
Sorry.
And she's so cute.
Ella.
Or is it so anyway, I was just saying about the meetings. We can do it from here in our avatar, have our coffee in our pajamas, and learn the most up-to-date what's going on with PAR, what's going on with EXP, and in general. And it lasts 45 minutes to maybe an hour. But again, it's that time savings of not jumping in your car, going to the office, sitting there.
So Sarah, we're mentoring a new agent who actually
oh my gosh,
worked with in the past, because she does a lot of our closings.
Yes.
And, she lives in Glen Mills. She's like, I need help. I drove over to her house. We sat at her counter. We worked on things together. And she's like, these classes she's like, it's just so easy to just, when either her son goes to sleep or, during the morning when she's drinking her coffee, she'll jump on and take a class, and she doesn't have to worry about driving anywhere.
Right. It's a different world that I'm spoiled because I've been there so long, but the efficiency, the technology, KV Core, which every brokerage is now working with, we've had for 5 years. I picked up a $1.3 million buyer just by boosting an ad for $45. That translated into over $30,000 in commissions in a house in Wayne with a doctor who was amazing to work with. And that never would have happened, I believe, in anywhere else, certainly, just because of that platform. The technology of taking classes live, they're all taped. You miss one, great. Let's talk about this, which I don't know if you got certified for yet. The relocation.
No, we want to.
It's great.
We are going to do that, actually.
So you can do it in Miami. It'll take like 3 hours, where if you did it in the world, it's a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. So it is free. Where I had to pay a couple $100 to get certified for relocation. I got a buyer in Glen Mills, $600,000 buyer who worked at Walmart, took him out twice, negotiated a really good, gorgeous townhome for him. And that was it. I never would have gotten that. That's a free stream of income that I never would have gotten. Yeah. So I mean, I know you guys have enough on your plate and you're busy enough.
No.
REO.
I do want to share one more thing.
Yeah.
The fact that this company, EXP, does not play favorites.
No, they don't. There's no clicks or
everybody has the same split.
Yes.
And interviewing, when I first got my license, I probably interviewed 5 or 6 different brokerages. Oh. And oh my God, sorry, my freaking phone.
I didn't. I went where my mom went.
Yeah.
Right.
I should have.
Yeah, Chrissy said right, because the different brokerages, you'll find out once you're in there, like one person's getting a 20 cap, another person's getting 25, another one. And then they like, if you go to leave, they're like, oh no, we'll give you 18. Well, why wasn't I worth that when I first started?
Yeah.
That's it. That's what happened to me. Right? And it's like, why did I have to negotiate my value? Right. Now that I'm on my way out the door, now you say it.
Exactly. And then it does
like universal.
Kind of like a not good environment, because you have other people who are getting things that are different. And I don't like that. It's just not, I don't like it. It's not a fair playing field. You know what I mean? It's not. And it also and then it's, like if somebody's got an 18 cap and I got a 25, how's the leaderboard? How's that even?
Right.
It's not.
It's just different. It's different here. To the point, anyone watching, Chrissy, Nicole, and I can email you a sample of our ICA, our Independent Contractors Agreement. It's the same throughout every state. Yeah. There are no back deals. It is whether you sell one home or 1 million homes. Mm-hmm. It's the same. It's 80-20 split. So that's a great point too. It's all these little things that we're talking about. It does make a difference. And where I just wouldn't look at it. I was comfortable. I was like, this is a good, I love who I work with and this and that. But then I didn't love giving the company more money than I was giving to my family.
Right. I stayed at a salon for 15 plus years just because I loved the people I worked with. Like, that's why when I did this, I was like, I'm not doing that again. I love people, but this is my job. Like, I can still love them and see them and talk to them. It just takes a minute for you to realize and get comfortable with that. But it's work. You're here for work. This is how you pay your bills. This is your livelihood. You can still keep all your friends. You're not losing anything. You're gaining.
And if you do, then you weren't friends to begin with, frankly.
Well, that's just it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's, that's just something that I learned.
It's been a wonderful year. And Stacie, you've been so helpful. Like,
oh, thank you.
The phone. You're like, you
throw
these
always so supportive.
Yeah,
I try.
and it's all positive, and it's just been a really good experience.
Yeah, I think it's so important to number one, you work with who you want to work with, and in where we are, we get to choose the people that we want to work with. And my background was education, and what I wanted, I was like, all right, this is the world. I'm a world builder. Ha ha ha. I'm not, but I'm like, here's what I want. Here's what I want to create for everybody so that we all benefit together and the value is there and we lift each other up. And that's what I think is so special about our group, that we do help each other. And I know that you had said, oh, I love my company. Yes, that is important, but also the people that you're working with, that you align yourselves with, the integrity that we have as a group is extremely important to me. Yeah. And we have the autonomy to choose. This isn't numbers game. I don't consider myself a recruiter. I consider myself like, I have the cliff notes. I've looked at all these brokerages. So have you. And I would invite anyone that's watching this, if something that Chrissy or Nicole spoke to you, reach out to them, because there's one thing that I know about you two ladies. I can't even get it out fast enough because I'm going to laugh my head off. You tell it like it is. If you are not happy with something, you'll be like, Stacie, this is messed up. What is going on?
We don't know another way to be.
I know, but
that's what's awesome about you.
We'd be happy to help anyone. Like this morning, Courtney texted me, and she has her first listing coming in the Poconos, and the MLS is a lot different up there. And I said to her, I'm like, if you need help walking through, I'd be happy. She's like, I'm actually a little nervous, so I might, so like, I'll take time out of my day to make sure that, she can understand, because I learned the hard way, because nobody showed me how to do it.
There was days where I talked to Justin like 7 times in a day. I would just laugh when the phone rang. I'm like, yes. I mean, it's just what we do. So
that's great that Courtney, if you're watching, I want you to blast that everywhere. House in the Poconos, because we know how hot the Poconos are now. It's incredible.
It is.
All right. What would you? Did you? Of course you did.
What? House in the Poconos to our investor.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
So what would you say to agents out there who are thinking, just open-minded? Like, here's what I would say. We work so hard. We negotiate on our clients' behalf day and night. And I mean, and you're answering the phone at 10 o'clock at night. I think agents should be applying the same.
Chrissy's not.
I'm sleeping.
But here's my point. Like, we work so hard for our clients. I believe we should apply that same attention to our own business and learn about anything. I still look at other brokerages because I want to know what's going on. What would you say to an agent that may be on the fence or that is open-minded?
Let me treat you to lunch and we'll explain it to you.
Also, I think they should just think about it like this. Like, you've already done that. You've been doing it. You're not going to get any new results with it. And you should be more afraid to be stuck in the same spot that you're in right now. So
that's actually a bigger risk, staying where you are.
Bigger risk. Yeah. Like, nobody wants to just stay in the same exact spot. You're going to get the same result. So sometimes even when something's scary, there's a reason it's scary, but there's also reward at the end of risk. Everybody says that risk comes with reward. So if you hate it, I mean, you leave. But if you don't try it, you're always going to just stay in that same spot and wonder. So that's where I was at.
And we broke down the numbers, like dollar for dollar, every single fee versus every apples to apples, however you want to say it. And I consider myself a pretty intelligent person. I've been in business for a really long time. I obviously like to join myself with like-minded people like Nicole, and we're not dummies. So we really broke it down, the model.
Right. And a lot of times when you leave a brokerage, though, they kind of bully you and scare you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, they'll start telling you what's wrong with the brokerage you're thinking of going to.
Yes.
And then you get in your head. But the thing is, if they were confident in their own brokerage, they wouldn't need to do that anyway. Right.
You wouldn't need to say it, right.
When that was kind of happening a little bit, like in my own head, I had to just detach and say, if I don't try this, I'm going to keep myself. I'm never going to know. Right. But I could go there, and if I hate it, I might I might be more appreciative of this brokerage and come back.
Right.
So either way, it's a positive thing. It's a win-win, because if you hate it, go back and maybe you'll never look again, because you'll think that, where you're at is the best. But how do you ever know if you don't leave and try?
I love that you said that. I just listened to Mel Robbins last week. There's 2 different decisions that people make. One is irreversible, but most decisions that people make are completely reversible. So if you try, like my best friend Lisa goes, all right, if it doesn't work, we'll go back.
Right.
And once she said that, I go, light bulb
Nicole
done.
said the same thing to me.
True.
Who said that?
I
Nicole
did.
said the exact same
No
thing.
way.
I said, if we hate it, we tried it, we go back, and guess what? Then we never have to leave again, because now we have more stuff to compare to. Because some people are at one brokerage their whole lives. They don't know the difference. And that's the thing. Chrissy and I were at different offices, but if you're only with one broker, how do I know? Right? I don't. I have to go see.
You don't.
And you can't listen to what other people say. You can only know for yourself.
Just like people in general. So if someone says, oh, Stace, you want to be friends with that person's blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I take people at their face value and they show me who they are. I make my own decision. Right. So
everything comes down to your decision. You cannot physically, there's no way that anybody can sell me on anything. I have to do it myself.
Yes. I love it. Yeah. So I don't know if you 2 have signed up yet. March 7th is our next event. It's an investor mastermind. And I love to learn stuff. Pull from the best. We have Jeremy Bowers coming from KW. We have Luke Medico in the Poconos, who owns 100+ doors, and Drew Farnese. So that's March 7th. And then we have happy hour. You can have fun, Nicole, next Thursday in media. So
how do I have fun at that?
You can. You don't need alcohol to have.
Are you guys trying to feed me again?
What's your mocktail?
Yes.
All I do is have mocktails, but that's fine. I can have fun. I don't need all that.
That's right. Your personality is so bubbly. You do not need it.
We can't. We have an open house at our new listing.
I knew there was something.
Yeah, our new listing in Tall Trees at Thornbury. We have an open house from 4:30 to 6:30 next Thursday, so we can't come.
Happy hour will be after that, 6:30, whenever.
Okay.
So let's talk about real quick, 60 seconds or less. Glen Mills, Tall Trees, the most desirable community in the area. How much is the house?
Oh, it's listed at 9. Yes. The taxes are low. It's Thornbury Township, Delaware County, Westchester Schools. It's beautiful. It sits overlooking the whole neighborhood, all these trees. It's a beautiful home.
And that's next Thursday. And then media, your next listing is where?
Media is 445 East Franklin.
Okay.
It's in the borough. It's 525.
Is it Victorian?
It's not a Victorian, but it's
more of like a bungalow style with a front porch.
Yeah.
Oh, cute. Okay.
It's really cute.
That price point's amazing.
It's actually really big. It's on a private street, and you can literally walk right to Santucci's Pizza. You can go to Pinocchio's. You're in the borough. So.
Oh, I'm looking that up.
Yeah.
Because I used to live in media. I love it, and I miss it.
It's a go on. For sure.
Well, you too. I want to thank you for making the decision to not only join EXP, but also our True Freedom group. Yes. You provide an energy and a vibe that is hard to catch up with, but I love it because it's contagious.
Thank you.
You 2 are great lights, and I really appreciate you and everyone.
We appreciate you
for watching.
Thank you.
All right. You can stay on. I'm going to hit end stream.
Oh, good. Okay.